Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about a ton of things, so let's just dive in and let's start with this tweet here from CZ Binance. So we do see this afternoon FTX asked for our help. There's a significant liquidity crunch. To protect users, we signed a non-binding LOI intending to fully acquire FTX.com and help cover the liquidity crunch. We will be conducting a full, I believe this is a demand draft that he's talking about here in the coming days. I might be wrong on that, but that's what I really kind of look at in terms of contracts. But we do see down here, there's a lot to cover and will take some time. This is a highly dynamic situation and we are assessing the situation in real time. Binance has the discretion to pull out of the deal at any time. We expect FTT to be highly volatile in the coming days as things develop. And we even do see Sam Bankman-Fried's response. It's very interesting because, yesterday, we seen Sam Bankman-Fried, well, I shouldn't say yesterday, but the day before, we seen him, talking about how Binance planned all of this, that Binance was trying to, attack them. And now we're seeing a huge thank you to CZ from Binance. It's very interesting. But things unfolded rapidly, and we also did see the market hitting a new all-time low, or I shouldn't say all-time low, but we've seen Bitcoin hit a new low. A lot of tokens did get completely slaughtered, and we were paying attention to the entire process as it really kind of continued to rage on. And I kind of warned you guys about this. When we were looking at the market last week, a lot of people were feeling a little bit too comfortable with the market, and I said, I'm looking at Monday. The first half of this entire month, in my opinion, was going to be bearish. I always said that. I also said that November into December, we will see our full bottom being realized in. And I looked at it from a time frame perspective. The patterns in this market do not lie. Following the past cycle patterns, a lot of people think that you can't do that it's not logical to do so. In my opinion, it really does play out perfectly when you look at it and you really kind of look at the dates, the time frames, everything. And it all aligned perfectly with a blood moon. Now over here we also do see a quick summary. This is like the easiest summary of what happened today. So the catalyst was Alameda's balance sheet being leaked, which showed heavy exposure to FTT tokens. That made people realize how fragile the FTX/Alameda complex was and caused Binance to sell its FTT tokens, with a bank run on FTX as a result, and a bailout/sale was the only option. And we actually have the full-on balance sheet over here. It's very interesting. So we do see Alameda previously borrowed hundreds of millions of dollars from DeFi. Now they are facing a liquidity crunch, or worse, putting their unsecured creditors at risk. Here is what their DeFi debt obligations are now. And there's a few of them. So first off, we have a few amounts here. We have the assets, we have the term, the APR, all that kind of stuff. This is from TrueFi DAO pool. Then down here, we have a little bit more money as well with Clearpool Fin, or Finance, if you will, fine. Maple Finance as well, and there's a few other ones as well. I mean, it's mostly, when we look at a lot of this, it's very interesting to say the least. There's a ton of FTT tokens as well. There's about 5 million FTT in here. You can see the borrowed amount, you can see the value. So they supplied about $49 million worth of FTT tokens and borrowed MIM token. This is from Spell. So MIM Spell. And there's a lot more to this. It's very interesting. I really think that this entire situation could... so it looks like MIM was fully repaid out or even liquidated. But I do think that this could get a lot worse. A lot of people think that we already seen the worst, that everything, collapsed, that we should be buying, buy the fear. I have been DCAing here and there, but I will say this, I'm not going all in yet, because I'm still keeping a large percentage of my portfolio in stable still because of everything that is unfolding today. Why do I think things could get a lot worse? Well, we will look into that here in a second, but we do see, why did scam bankster fraud take directional bets on altcoins rather than simply run a riskless and highly profitable casino? Because he was never as smart as crypto people thought he was. He just played the role well on TV, like Vitalik. And I've been looking at this. I do think that a lot of these individuals, I even think Do Kwon was one of them. I think I forgot his last name, but Alex from Celsius was another individual. These are fall guys. What do I mean by that? I think these are fall guys to make this entire industry look terrible. Oh, they need regulations. They need regulations, and it's going to open the door for the wrong type of regulations to come in, and this could ultimately lock retail out. They want to put. We read this, by the way, as well, because they actually want to incorporate this on stocks too, which I think it's absolutely ridiculous at this point. But the SEC wants to put a $10 million cap on investing into certain assets and securities, especially around stocks, which means that you need to be an accredited investor that has a portfolio of $10 million plus before even investing. That will lock a large percentage of the retail sector out. This is basically letting the rich get richer while the poor stays poor. This is a big issue, and we need to stop this type of regulations to coming into the space. And the biggest problem is that this will most likely lead to overregulation, very similar to what they were calling for when Luna crashed. It's seriously a big issue. Also, by the way, Sam Bankman-Fried's net worth was worth $991 million earlier today. I think that this actually dropped even more, but this is down from $16 billion just yesterday. So, for anybody out there that, your portfolio was looking a little bit rough today, just know that Sam Bankman-Fried went from $16 billion down to $991 million. This is probably one of the biggest drops in net worth that I've ever seen. You're looking at a 93.6 and a 93.9% drop from one day to the year to date. This is crazy to me. Now, also, with all of this in mind, he was not the only one feeling pain. We've seen a lot of individuals in the space get hurt today, and I do feel for them. So we do see just in the past 24 hours, 369,966 crypto traders were liquidated, and the total liquidations comes in at $775 million. Yeah, this is very interesting. First off, there was a ton of capitulation. There was a ton of pain today. Again, I even said it on Twitter, though. This is the time to really kind of look at this market and take a step back. I said, where was it? I think it was right here, actually. And I said, basically, I see so many rushing out to buy right now. I'm sitting patiently, no need, in my opinion, to rush buys at this moment. I have taken some positions, but I'm not rushing to buy anything. The biggest token that I've seen getting bought like crazy was QNT. If you guys remember, I said QNT could easily drop even more, even if we don't see Bitcoin crash. We've seen a lot of altcoins today taking huge hits, even though Bitcoin was not continuing to drop down. QNT at the time that I'm recording this is sitting at $144. I do have a buy set up in the $60 to $80 range. Not going to give you guys my exact amount that I'm buying in at, just because I do not want to get front run, but it is in that region. Again, I feel very patient on that buy order. I could wait forever until that is hit. But we do see over here as well, I've spoke with several employees of FTX and investors. They're all completely in the dark. Sad day for our industry. People I talk to feel gutted, lied to. Sad. Yeah, this is like the number 2. I think it was number 2. I'm pretty sure it was the second largest exchange in crypto. Absolutely collapsed. Frozen assets, we see over here. Don't think people realize how bad this is. One of the worst events ever happened to crypto. I got a message from someone that has 9 figures plus stuck on FTX. Plenty of such cases most likely exist. Yeah, this is this was crazy to me. To me personally, when we look at everything happening around the space, you can't get too comfortable at all. A lot of people think that an exchange is safe because it is so big. Oh, it's too big to fail. People said Luna was too big to fail. People said Celsius was too big to fail. They said it about FTX. To me, like when we look at what Sam Bankman-Fried was trying to do, first off, I think that it's going to be a good sign that he's out of this market because the regulations that he wanted to usher in and what he was doing was not good. But I never wanted to see it go down like this, where individuals in the space get hurt as well. This is a very sad day for anybody who was utilizing FTX. I did warn you guys yesterday, though, to get your funds off of FTX, and today is exactly why. Things are not good at all around this space right now. Things are not safe. They are not looking good. We could continue to fall. We do see over here, the issue is here, not the FTX situation, but the Alameda, the issue is, well, I guess he meant here. Sorry about that. But the Alameda unwind, and is there even a larger liquidity cascade to come? We just can't tell. Be very careful. Most hedge funds, etc., are still sitting on a lot of cash, but it's an opaque trading shops where issues can still lie. And listen, things can get a lot worse when we look at things happening around this space. I want you guys to all, make sure that you pay attention to things that kind of create a contagion effect around this space. Luna was a very, very interesting topic for this when we looked at USD, or it was Terra Luna, the US dollar that they were utilizing, their stablecoin. That caused a massive contagion effect. I even did a video on it at the time when things were happening, and it really did cause a cascade domino effect that kind of went right through this entire market. We're kind of seeing the same exact thing happening right now through this capitulation event. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, do you think that this is going to lead to the bottom? 100%. We do see over here, FTX capitulation has to be an omega market bottom. Yeah, I do think that it will, but we need to wait fully. We need to let things calm down. We do see down here, wait for the contagion. They owe people money 10 times bigger than 3AC. Yeah, 100%. We do see over here, by the way, when I say things are planned, look at this. This is getting weird. October 6th, a hacker drains 580 million BNB. November 7th, Binance starts dumping 580 million FTT. November 7th, FTX urges CZ to stop dumping FTT. November 8th, CZ willing to stop dumping and trade all their FTT if FTX gives them 580 million in BNB. Very interesting, and this is all fully documented, by the way. This is why I say, manipulation is happening in this space, and it's not for the good at all. Listen, these are two billionaires. Well, I should say one billionaire now, one millionaire, and he's a multi-millionaire. But yeah, this was a huge back and forth, and it really did start back in October, and I do think that this was one big show. I even said this in yesterday's video when things were happening. I think that this is one big show for the regulators. I think that these are fall guys in this space. And we also do see over here from Rob Art. So this is what I was talking about around the bottoming phase for crypto. So for everybody that stayed until the end of this video, comment down below, legendary status. But nonetheless, we do see in 2018, time-wise bottom was in after 364 days from the top. Percentage-wise, Bitcoin was down 69%. Now we're at 364 days again. Bitcoin is down 70%, time percentage-wise. Bottom is in, but fractal-wise, it isn't, which could push it into a historical 80% crash area. And here we have what would be an 80% crash. So first off, this is 2018, really kind of showing you guys the bottom phase, and we do see the 80% crash there a little bit after the 70% crash, and here we are at 71.51. This would technically take us to around 14K, which is where everyone has been calling the bottom for Bitcoin for a while. Will it happen? We don't know. But we do see if we extend the time frame in accordance with the fractal, then we start transitioning into the 400 days area from the top, and in 2014 cycle Bitcoin bottomed in 410 days from the top. Either way, just sharing my mind and can't wait to see what happens. I completely agree. By the way, this would take us into December. If there was it's December, January in terms of the 410 day time frame. But yeah, this is very interesting. I do believe that, like I said, in the next 2 months, November included, so December, we will most likely see our bottom phased in. And I said over here, in my opinion, this will lead to our official bottom being in, and then we could build back to new all-time highs. Slow and steady price action from here until 2023 would be perfect. And I also have this tweet over here. This is the final boss, final nuke. More live on YouTube from Ivan on Tech. So, yeah. I think that this is probably one of the biggest capitulation events in the history of crypto. I do think that the after effects can continue throughout the week. And with midterms and everything like that happening, things could get a little bit more rough this week. So definitely be cautious. And guys, please, please stop using exchanges no matter how big they are. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys have more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. This is up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys done this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.